Hi, welcome to my 2024 year-end review. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Michelle Pontvert, both pronunciations are fine. I'm your Life First business strategist, and I am going to be diving into how this year has gone for me as a business owner and as a human, really, as well. So, my kind of theme for the year 2024 has been simplicity. I have done a lot of hard work in the back end of the business this year to really make things feel simpler, lighter, easier for me as the person running it, but I'm hoping also for the people who are engaging with my business as well. So over this year, I actually made the really hard decision to close my second business that I'd started the year prior with my business bestie. This was a super hard decision because actually that business was going pretty well, but I found the split focus of running two separate businesses in a season of life where I had a lot going on was just too much. So that was a really hard decision, but ultimately I think a really good one, and thankfully really good terms still with my business bestie, and I think both of us felt like it was really the right time to let that go. I also retired 9 of some of my most popular and most successful digital products and courses. This was in this effort to really help focus in on what this business is about and what it is that I'm sharing. And prior to this year, I had sort of kept on a lot of previous products from the kind of version of this business prior. So I started as a website designer and I was doing done for you services, launched a bunch of courses and digital products around website design, which I'm still really proud of. I still think are great products. But ultimately, in this shift towards focusing on a life first business, yes, websites can be part of that, but I didn't want it to be such a huge focus. And I think keeping so many products around websites was kind of confusing to people. So it really helped just clearing the shelves, helping focus in a bit more my product suite so it's less scattered and less confusing for people. I also explored a lot of different avenues to help make my business fit me and my life even better. Things like really thinking through how I want to show up in my offers, helping like take me out of some of the offers. I actually reduced the price of one of my bigger courses so that it wasn't including so much live access to me. And that felt really, really hard and scary to do publicly, but I think actually has been a really great thing. And I got some lovely feedback about it because it's ultimately making it simpler on my end to sell, promote, and deliver that course, but also I think made it a lot simpler for people who wanted to just dip in and get the value of that course rather than waiting around for me to be available to launch it live. So some of the highlights for me this year, this has been my best financial year thus far, which is exciting. It's also been one of my most free, empty calendar years thus far in business. My calendar has never had this much white space, and I'm loving it. Part of the experiments I ran, actually 2023 as well, but into 2024, was removing most, if not all, hard deadlines in my business. So having external pressure to get things done at a certain time has always been a really hard thing for me. And creating more of this white space has been hugely helpful. So I don't have live calls. I don't, really have deadlines when I'm creating new products. And when I do collaborations, even if they have a deadline, I kind of take that off the table by just applying and getting things done in that moment, as soon as possible, so that there isn't that lingering pressure of having deadlines. I actually have a whole course about that experiment too. If you're interested, I'll pop a link below. I've also been really boldly trying to accept and accommodate myself more in my business. I am neurodivergent and learning a lot about that because I am diagnosed late in life as an adult. And it's been a really, really interesting experience to understand what I've been doing just because everybody else does and what actually works best for me as a human. And really trying to accommodate, to lean into what I need as a human as I operate this business day in, day out. So some of the wobbly bits, because it wouldn't be an honest review if I didn't cover the tougher parts too. So there were times this year where I felt like I really couldn't keep up with other business owners, especially when I was having some pretty low energy and low mood seasons. That's just part of the way my life is. I always have these. Some of it's seasonal, some of it's hormonal, and some of it's my neurodivergence, my flavor of neurodivergence means that I go through these seasons of really low energy and low mood. And during those times, it can be really hard to watch other people kind of not take you by, because it's not a competition, not a race, but see everybody having fun and doing things and being creative when I just couldn't. And that's really, yeah, it's hard to face that feeling of kind of watching other people doing what you want to when you don't have the capacity to. I was also worried that I was leading myself to burning out, and I am trying to be really proactive. That's one of those things when I'm accommodating myself better, is to take more breaks, to take steps back. Um, but it is tough to do those things intentionally when you're in that lower energy, low mood season. And it can be hard to know if you're doing these slowing down, these, taking things out of the business from a place of strategically trying to minimize things and simplify, or if you're just burning down what's working because you're feeling low mood, low energy. And that's been a real kind of juggling act with me this year, and something I've talked to like coaches and my biz bestie about, and I have these checkpoints to help make sure I'm not just burning down what's working, but it is something that can be hard to navigate in those specific seasons of life too. So what I'm proud of, I'm really proud of making more space to be me in my business. I think anyone who's discovered their neurodivergent later in life will understand there's a lot of untangling that goes with that experience. But I think even just in general as a business owner, there's a lot of unlearning of how we think we're meant to do things when we've been an employee. And it takes a long time. I'm in my 5th year of running this business, and I just feel like now I'm starting to realize I get to decide how I do things. I don't have to just follow the norms. I don't have to do things the way everybody else does just because. And those rules are meant to be bent and broken sometimes. I'm really proud of making hard decisions like closing the second business, like stopping my joint podcast to create more space for myself, like retiring those products. And then I'm really proud of actually sharing more of the behind the scenes like this. I'm a pretty private person, and I don't have the most natural instinct to like share all the behind the scenes of what's going on. I'm also really protective of my family's privacy, and I don't ever really want to broach that too much, but I'm really proud of myself for stretching, at least sharing the behind the scenes of the business a bit more. And I think that's been a really hard lesson to learn for me, that is something I should do more, even if I find it challenging sometimes. Here's what I'm working on. So these are things that, I'm trying. I don't think I'm quite there yet. So I'm trying to lean into what I do best versus what I think I should be doing. And this is a really hard one. Again, that's a bit that lesson of, we get to be bosses of our own businesses. I'm still learning how to really lean into how I work best, what I do best versus what I think strategically should be done. I'm trying to lean into experimenting and just playing in my business more, having more space for fun, because as much as we want to have our strategist hats on and be the CEO, I think so much of what I've seen personally in my business work is when I can just show up with a lightness and a fun and give those different perspectives to other people and spark these ideas, spark that creativity. And then I'm working on, I said before, I'm proud of trying, but I want to keep trying, bringing you more behind the scenes of the business, how I'm doing things, helping you kind of see behind the curtain a bit of what's going on, how I think through things, because I love behind the scenes content, is my favorite kind, and I feel like it's only fair that I share a bit more too. So I hope you enjoyed this little review. I have a couple more on the blog. This is the first year I'm doing a video, so I'll pop a link if you want to look at the other ones. And then I also share this resource for you if you do want to use this assessment. It's a Life as Business assessment, but it really reviews all the different parts of your business. And I actually kind of use this as a baseline for how I think about these reviews. So if you'd like to have a look at that, I'll drop a link below as well. And then I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more videos, definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel and then hit the bell icon to make sure you're notified when new episodes drop.